world of home decoration nowadays. It's how you get the paint onto the surfaces. It's all important. Do you rag roll or not rag roll? Do you sponge or not sponge? But what if after all of that, you just don't like it anymore?
This is the answer to slow and messy stripping. It's down to a lot of air, a minuscule amount of sand and a drop of water.
Meet Nigel Farrow. He's a farmer, an inventor and now a super stripper. He claims he's found a new way to speedily strip delicate surfaces with minimal damage and with very little mess. What's more, he says, he wouldn't be where he is today if it weren't for tomorrow's world.
This enhanced me to look again at something that I always had a love for, is sailing. And the most notorious job I think everyone has got is scraping the bottom of it, which you can see here how difficult it is. And I set about achieving something and developing something that will do that.
This 90-year-old wooden fishing boat is coated in a mat of barnacle beards and saltwater grime, but it's getting the makeover of its life, and all in record time. What you're seeing here took Nigel just over 25 minutes, many days faster than the alternative chore of stripping it by hand. There's nothing new about harnessing the power of high-pressure water, air and sand to clean boats, but what Nigel set out to design was a machine that would blend these ingredients to do the job without the mess a traditional blaster might leave behind.
It was trial and error, of course. It was getting all the three elements right from the word go, the grit, the air and the water. But once you actually got the mix there, it worked. And it was just all the time squeaking it, turning it to get the blend perfectly right.
So this is where it all happens. Now the water goes into this pipe from an ordinary household tap. It then goes into this tank, it's filled up with grit and water. It's then transferred into this box, which is where all the action happens. It's pressurised by air, and that's the secret of it, because the water and the grit are at very low levels, but the air drives them out through the pipe at the speed of a car on a motorway.
Nigel gets more stripping power out of less grit thanks to a clever way of blending the ingredients by heat, vaporising the water to dampen the mix. But what comes out of the other end is cold and a lot less messy, allowing Nigel to tackle jobs in places a lesser sandblaster would never be invited.
Environmentally friendly, controllable and no dust. When you've got a lot of very expensive boats all congregated in a small area, it's very important that if you're working on one, you don't contaminate all the boats around with mess from the other boats. This system does that very well.
And finished just in the nick of time, the freshly stripped Fisherman's Rest is about to open for business.
Nigel, cheers, mate. Well done.
Good health
Bless
to you.
you.
Cheers.
It's fantastic. I want one. Other people have designed similar systems, but Nigel plans to miniaturise his, and he has a patent pending. So fingers crossed, and it might soon be a feature of your home decorating kit.
That's it for now. Join us next time for another glimpse of the future.
The latest